The coalition had gone public in supporting the report from Keith Lowenfield, the country's chief elections officer, who discarded over 115,000 votes to calculate a victory for the APNU+AFC. But campaign manager of the APNU+AFC Joseph Harmon now says Lowenfield could not depend, as he previously claimed, on last Monday's ruling of the Court of Appeal. In his written submission to the CCJ, Harmon contends that the Court of Appeal made no determination as to whether the votes cast were valid or not, and imposed no criteria by which the validity of the votes would be determined. The Court of Appeal, in interpreting Article 1772 of the Constitution, ruled that the party with the most valid votes should emerge the winner and gave no further directions or orders. But a day after the Court of Appeal decision, Lowenfield submitted a report that was starkly different from his original report of the results of a national vote recount, and said that he was basing his decision on guidance from the Court of Appeal judgment. In so doing, Lowenfield took it upon himself to decide that votes are valid and fix his report accordingly to give APNU+AFC a victory. It is a report Harmon accepted. But in written submissions to the CCJ, Harmon's attorneys noted that the Court of Appeal now rightfully claims that the Court of Appeal did not purport by its order to determine the validity of an election nor votes cast in respect of an election. Rather, the Court of Appeal determined solely a question as to the validity of an election of a president insofar as question concerned the interpretation of the Constitution and no more. In other words, the Court of Appeal made no determination as to whether the votes cast were valid or not, and imposed no criteria by which the validity of votes would be determined. In preparing his new report, Lowenfield disobeyed the clear instructions of the chair of the Elections Commission, retired Judge Claudette Singh. The chairman had instructed Lowenfield to use the certified figures from the recount and prepare his report. But Lowenfield's latest report flipped the figures to give APNU+AFC 33 seats and give the PPP 31 seats. Lowenfield has not explained how he came up with his latest figures, and Justice Singh has not said what she will do with his report. There have been calls for Lowenfield to be dismissed or be suspended from having anything further to do with the elections process. The CCJ will on Wednesday determine whether it has jurisdiction to hear that case.